glove on. Sake. Oh, hello. And here we are, Dunes Area 1, in our favorite campsite. We made it. It is raining a little bit. We're not quite hooked up to power yet. A little bit of a breezy drive getting here. Everything's really soggy, so I don't anticipate we'll have a fire tonight. Didn't see any other campers coming in here yet, but we saw Ontario Park staff cleaning the bathrooms, which was nice. The park store is open as well, which is surprising. I don't remember the park store being open so early. I think 1 to 5 today and 9 to 5 tomorrow's Friday and into the weekend. So, but yes, this will be our home for the next 4 nights. Welcome, and let's get to it. So for those of you new to the channel wondering, why do we like this site so much? Well, for starters, bathrooms are right there with full shower facilities, which is nice if you've got kids. No neighbors on that side. Nice hill giving you privacy. Goes up to the sand dunes and the kids can walk around up there. No neighbors on that side. And then when you park your trailer, you can't see the neighbors. There's nobody in the site right now, but just through there, past my son's head, sorry, it's out of focus, is Site 98. We've stayed in there too. I'll throw a picture up of us staying in that site. But yes, pretty private. The road's a little busy with people coming and going. The kids also love this tree. I've shared this on the channel before. They call it Dave because it looks like a character, a octopus character from a movie.
What are you doing?
I'm showing all the viewers our favorite campsite. What are you doing? What are you doing, tiny one? Looking all beautiful in your pink coat. Your cheeks are all rosy. But yes, this is our absolute favorite site. We've been coming here for over 10 years, and I think we are the first ones in it since the winter, so pretty exciting. I don't care that it's raining. It's not that cold, it's not too windy, and just happy to have 4 nights here, because it's unlikely we'll get this site again. The reasons we like it are the reasons why many other campers like it, so we'll be back at Pinery a few times throughout the season, but only once to here. Now we've got an 80 amp hour battery on this camper, but we do like shore power. Make sure you get a circuit analyzer like this one. Don't ever trust campground wiring, whether it's an RV park, state park, provincial. Has light codes on there, and if it is not correct, I just wouldn't even use it. I think this has a bit of surge protection built into it. You can get more fancy power station type things, but for our camper this works perfect. So the other reason I was going to say that we really love this campsite, if we pull out our shore power cord here for a second. There's the power pedestal. So there we are in the campsite. There's the power connection, and that is fantastico. I mean, I've got extensions, but if I don't have to use them, I'd rather not. This area here is kind of like a little sand pit. Kids always liked that when they were little, the older kids anyway. But yeah, I don't even need an extension. I should just be able to pull that out, drag it along behind the rig here. All right, I'm gonna try and keep the plug out of the dirt here for a second. Doing this one-handed, sorry folks. So we're just gonna, sorry you can't see anything right now. Plug the power tester in. And 2 yellow lights means we are good. Correct wiring and good to go. I'll keep the battery topped up so if there's a power outage, we've got lights and everything. I'll let us use the microwave and charge our devices as well. This has got the Zamp solar plug on it, where you have to buy the solar panel with the charge controller built into it, but I've never done that. We have shore power pretty much everywhere that we go, so it's not really necessary. I've thought about it, but I mean, it would open up like non-electrical sites, but in the case of Ontario parks, you really wouldn't be saving a lot of money. I think the reservations are only $6 or $7 a night cheaper, so not a massive amount. And in all the years we've been camping, we've almost never had power outages that required solar. But yes, if you have, just while we're on the subject, if you have one of these solar ready ports, you need an adapter because Zamp has the polarity reversed in this plug. They say that it's for a safety reason so that this metal part's not live. We won't go into that debate. But there's no built-in solar controller, charge controller in the rig. It's just wired to go to the battery through the onboard power system. So you'd have to buy either a Zamp branded solar panel with a charge controller or an off-brand one. But you would need an adapter. Can't remember the proper terminology. I'll put it down below. But to make that work for solar, which on a day like today is a moot point anyway. The other thing that I've been doing a little different lately is I used to use these wooden pads under each of the stabilizers, and the idea was it would reduce the chances of that sand pad down there, the foot basically, sinking into the dirt. But sometimes I think it actually tended to make the rig more bouncy. So we'll see how it goes. If you're on really soft, muddy terrain, that might be a good idea. We've used them for many years, but for the last few trips we've been just going without. Top tip is once you get in your campsite and you get everything leveled and steadied, make sure you do come out every now and then and just tighten these up a little bit, because as the rig shifts in the dirt, you can get a gap. And if you wobble your rig and you can see that foot moving up and down like off the ground, then yeah, you got to get your power drill with your attachment or this wrench thing here and just kind of snug it down. We're just going to have a look around. They just opened. We don't need a stuffy. You can look, but we don't need a stuffy. You got hundreds of stuffies. It's a little squirrel. Oh, wow. And things they've got. This is all for, like, camping stuff. It's like we got the park to ourselves. We're literally the only ones here going to the store, getting ice cream. This place will be a zoo literally in a few weeks and right through the summer. You won't even be able to find a parking spot here. I love the off-season. A little bit of drizzly weather never gets this family down. That's okay. You got a nice umbrella to walk on the trail? Let's keep going. Things are starting to look a little more green even compared to 10 or so days ago when we were here. We'll have a nice little hike and then we'll head back for supper. Well, you rejoin us here now in Grand Bend. We decided we did not want to cook. So, shame on us, but we got McDonald's. And then we sat parked just over there. That's my daughter. With a lovely view of the lighthouse. And we thought, you know what? It's calmed down. It's not raining. We'll come down to the beach. But, yeah, there's a lot of dead fish now, even in Grand Bend. Remember? Oh, that fish is alive. That fish had just been on its side. Oh, yeah, no, it must be injured. Keeps coming up to the shore. No, there's something not wrong with that. Not right with that fish, I should say. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Anyway, what I was saying is all the way up there. So, about 100 feet or so. You can just about make it out. All kinds of dead fish. They must have had one heck of a storm here recently. It's littered with dead fish up there, too. Just absolutely covered. I don't know if I can zoom in. But yeah, all that whitish stuff you see there is all dead fish. Now, we had seen them up at Pinery, which is way down there in the distance. But they hadn't had any here at Grand Bend, but there must have been some nasty storms here lately. Don't know if any of my subscribers or viewers are from the Grand Bend area. But very quiet. I think we're literally the only people here again. Just checking out the water and looking for beach glass. And don't know if we'll have a campfire or not. It's hard to predict whether it's going to stay dry or not. Yes, honey?
The water's really cold.
Is it really cold? Well, watch out for dead fish. But anyway, we'll bring you back a little bit later when we figure out what we're going to do back at camp. Well, we're back at camp now. It's got to be about 8 o'clock. And for the time being, the rain has eased off. The thunderstorms that they were predicting seem to have moved through, and we've been relatively unscathed. There's supposed to be a little bit of rain around 11. So it looks as though we may be lucky, and the next couple of days may actually turn out to be not too bad weather-wise. So, yeah, not really sure what the next couple of days have in store. I'm just not used to having so many full days to work with at Pinery. Our history was that we were always weekend warriors. We'd come in on a Friday afternoon as early as we could, stay all day Saturday, and then packing up and breakfast and going home Sunday. We've moved that up to having 2 full days normally. Having 3, I feel spoiled for choice. So, but yeah, I won't have a massive fire tonight. I didn't bring that much wood this time because, quite honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to have a fire tonight. So, we'll keep it fairly modest for this evening, and then hope for a really, really nice sleep in the trailer tonight. A delicious breakfast in the morning, and another day full of adventure. So, let's see. So something I just wanted to mention real quick. One of my greatest joys with camping, and one of the biggest reasons I love it, is spending time with my kids. This guy here, almost 16 years old. He's been camping since he was 4, in tents and then tent trailers. Now this one loves sitting with his dad by the fire, roasting marshmallows. This little one, who's kind of one of our middle children, how old are you?
4.
You are 4, and she loves camping. She is camping obsessed. Why is she out here? Well, she had been in the trailer watching movies and resting, but she knew we were roasting marshmallows, so she wanted to come sit with us. The other 2 kids are resting in the trailer, which is totally fine, but this just makes it all work. So I don't typically recommend buying camping gear at the dollar store, but I bought this headlamp at Dollarama, whatever. It's actually working pretty well. My kids and I are walking on the boardwalk. It's about 9 o'clock to go take a look at the beach in the evening. I won't show you my own face because you won't be able to see anything. You'll be blinded, but there's 2 lights. This is kind of the LED strip, which is pretty decent, pretty good lighting. It actually looks better in person than it does on camera. The other setting is like a, so that's without it, is like a unidirectional beam, and it is pretty powerful. You can actually, I don't think the camera's picking it up, but there's like an absolute beam of light going through the sky down towards the sky, like I'm that tall, down to the ground. I'm pretty impressed. It plugs in with a mini USB plug. Is it mini or micro USB? But anyway, the older USB, not USB-C, to recharge. Straps onto your head. I think it was like $6 or something like that. Hilarious that dollar stores now sell things for $6. But yeah, I'm hitting points pretty far over there on the dune. So again, you go from the beam like this, and then another click to like this. Now, I don't buy high-end expensive camping gear, so I'm sure there's probably professional stuff that hikers and other enthusiasts, outdoor people would use. They might scoff at me using a dollar store headlamp, but hey, work within your means, right? I don't want to spend 50, 60, 70 bucks on a headlamp, assuming that's how expensive they can be. I just want to get something relatively inexpensive. We'll bring you back when we're down at the beach. This is a little bit creepy, I won't lie though. Where are you guys? Oh, they're down there. Who brought an ultraviolet flashlight? That's not going to do anything. I did. Okay, so I'm going to try not to step in any dead fish here, but there's hardly any visible light. I had to turn the headlamp off because every bug within a 10-mile radius thought it was the sun. I was getting in my face. So if you folks use headlamps, do you run into that problem? It is beautiful, but also slightly creepy being down here at night. That's Grand Bend down there in the distance, and those blinking lights are all of the different, what do you call those, wind turbines. Those are the red marker lights on the top of them, all flashing in unison. Oh look, another helium balloon that some numbnut decided to release, thinking that it floats off to who knows where. Instead of that, it pops, falls back to Earth, and is littering the beach. Such a silly, silly thing to do. We'll have to pick this up and put it in a trash can. Well, good morning. You can Probably hear SpongeBob coming out of the trailer. It is a glorious, glorious Friday morning now of day 2. A little cloudy and overcast, a little cool, but it is dry. We had almost no rain overnight, and we were very cozy back there in the camper. And let me turn the camera around here for a second. We've taken an opportunity to set up the hammock. We've been coming to this site for about 10 years, and for nearly all those 10 years we've had this hammock. We've had to change the straps because the straps wore out, but our big kids, when they were very little, used to play in the same hammock, and now our tiniest one is in the hammock. What's that, sweetie?
Why am I petting you?
Because you're so cute. But yes, a beautiful day. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Glorious day today. Not sure what our plans are for today. There is a Lambton County Museum that's just outside the gates here. We've never been to it. It's about $5 a person, or I think $15 for a family of like 4 kids and 2 adults. Pretty big complex. Apparently there's some outdoor buildings as well. We never are here long enough to want to spend time in a museum necessarily, and we don't like to spend too much time outside of the park, but we may check that out. We'll see. Other plans for this trip, of course, will be the usual: the hiking, fishing, no swimming, too cold for that, but just enjoying a real nice time. We're supposed to have some family coming to visit us here at camp tomorrow, which will be fantastic. But yeah, again, thanks for coming along on our adventure, and we'll bring you back in when we figure out what we're doing next. But first, breakfast: bacon, eggs, tomato, beans. Delicious. Perfect weather for beach glass hunting. You've got a little bit of water lapping over the edge here. This is where you're typically going to find the best beach glass. My daughter up there has a bag with a bunch of blue and green and pale blue in it. Mostly brown and white or clear. But yeah, beautiful afternoon. Little chilly with the breeze. Not so many dead fish, well, other than those up there. But yeah, these are perfect conditions for beach glass, because with it being wet, with the sun, the light hits it, and it's just a little bit easier to see. And even the little ones are getting into it, sort of. Turned into a beautiful day. I know I said this morning, but it was supposed to be dreary today with possible rain and storms, and look at it. My only concern is, did I bring enough firewood? Might have to buy some more bags. Well, it's now the end of our first full day. Come down to the Dunes main beach. They put these barriers in here. They've also backfilled this because it usually floods and it's all cratered. But I think they put this to stop people driving too far up towards the dunes. And we're going to go see if there's any kind of sunset this evening. It's a little chilly. With that breeze, it's feeling close to about 4 Celsius. So, what's that, mid-30s Fahrenheit? Moment of truth. Oh, that's quite pretty. And there's a gap in the clouds, so maybe it'll be nice once it dips below. I know I feature these so often on the channel, but I never get tired of these. I mean, I am freezing my ass off right now, but it's worth it. Future survivalist, maybe? Survivor girl? You're so smart, Ellie. There you have it, folks. The sun has dipped below the horizon. Temperature's going to drop pretty quickly, and I think I need to get back to camp for a hot cup of tea and a campfire to round out an incredible first full day here at Pinery Provincial Park. Campfire number 2. It was a little stubborn tonight, despite splitting all the wood. I think I didn't have enough newspaper in there. A little hard getting it going, but it's going now. What a fantastic first day, lots of good stuff. Looking forward to another cozy sleep tonight, getting lots of rest. And then we get 2 more full days to enjoy, which is fantastic. You know, it's interesting, when we went from being weekend warriors up to staying 3 nights, I could never imagine going back to being a weekend warrior doing 2 nights. Now we've gone up to 4 nights. Am I going to struggle to go backwards to 3 nights? Hard to say. But with work and vacation time finances, we probably can't afford to do too many extended trips. And of course the holding tanks are a consideration for extended trips too, so we will see you in the morning. Good morning. It's our second full day. I'm so mixed up with all the extra days. As you can see, pretty cloudy today, a lot cooler. We definitely needed the heat last night. We've got family coming later today. I won't film that to respect their privacy. But they're not coming till late afternoon, so that gives us plenty of time to do some other activities. In the meantime, we had breakfast. Daughter's in the shower. Son and 2 other daughters are up the sand hill, and I've got some dishes to do. So we'll bring you back in later when we're doing something a little more interesting.
I can't see myself.
Feels so cool.
No, you can't see yourself.
What a wonderful conversation while I enjoy my morning coffee.
Stop back. Go away, Sticky Adeline. Go away, Sticky Adeline, not fancy part. What?
See, if we could turn this into a seasonal site, just have a park trailer here, and just live here from like April to October. That'd be perfect.
I love Coke. Cola.
Are you filming me on wide angle?
Just inhale so
Yep.
much.
I inhaled.
Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't worry about not be looking for beach glass today. Too windy. Another gorgeous morning here at Camp Bonner. Sorry we didn't really have a lot to share from our yesterday. My in-laws came to visit and we had a fantastic barbecue with nice big juicy hamburgers and cheese smokies and side salads and all kinds of desserts. And while I am not a very big drinker, my father-in-law brought a nice supply of beer, and I definitely had some beer, which was very, very nice. Oh boy, I'm just looking at the back of my vehicle, realizing those back windows were open all night. Thank goodness it did not rain as was predicted. Whoops. But yeah, I didn't film anything with the in-laws, as I said, just to respect their privacy, but also just to relax. And, you know, as much as I love having you folks join us and I love putting together these videos, I'm always torn because a big part of me just wants to, you know, enjoy the experience and not be recording. Not really sure what we have in store for today. It is predicted to rain later this afternoon, although nowhere near as much as the forecast originally called for. It was supposed to be cloudy all day and, you know, close to an inch of rain. Now they're saying it'll be cloudy later this afternoon and not even 1/4 of an inch. And then tomorrow for departure day, the weather's actually looking not too bad. The rain should hold off until after we've packed up and left. The only issue is going to be a very strong easterly wind, which will make towing a little challenging. But yeah, I got to get everything organized behind me. Get rid of all the recycling, including the beer cans. Whoops. Get tidied up. We'd thrown everything under the awning to try and keep it dry last night in anticipation of rain. So I think a nice hearty breakfast is in order, and then we'll see what our final full day has in store. And then tomorrow, departure day. Ugh. Anyway, let's worry about that later. Caught a few sunfish. Trying to get a little bit of fishing in before the rain comes in. These guys are not interested. The fish are very down low and not super hungry. When we're back in June and hopefully it's warmed up and the fishing's a little better. All catch and release, of course. It's fun for the kids. When the little kids are older, we might try a canoe. We tried it with the bigger kids when they were little and all they did was cry. They used to have pedal boats. We tried those. They cried during that too.
It's gone. You lost your bait? Yes. I don't have more hot bait. The hot dog bag is right there.
Bag's right there. Bye, Amy. Final evening here at Pinery for this early May trip, and I'm taking some of the kids. My wife and oldest daughter are back at camp, but some of the kids down to the beach. Not that there's going to be any kind of sunset. There's rain coming in. But we leave tomorrow. We are going to have a fire later, but why just, sit at your campsite? It is not raining right now. It's quite warm. It's about 13 Celsius. We didn't really make a campsite here, honey. And I don't know if there's anybody else down here. So if you watched our previous video, you saw the dead fish everywhere. We saw some dead fish in Grand Bend. But apparently it's not the only winter death. Somebody has, and no, it was not us, decided to put this dead seagull head and stick it on a stick. Like something from Lord of the Flies. Gross. I had to tell the little kids not to go in this shelter. You see these quite often on the beach. People make them out of driftwood. I think you're technically not supposed to do this as per the park rules, but I've actually seen these things collapse sometimes when nobody's been around, and get a little kid in there and have a big piece of driftwood fall down. That could be pretty disastrous. I mean, this doesn't look that big, but if I get closer, that's my hand compared to the middle post and my hand compared to that, and that's a lot of friggin' weight. So if you got little kids and you come to the beach and you see these structures, I don't want to be a helicopter parent, but probably keep your kids away from it. I've kind of addressed this on the channel before, but I think sometimes when people get into camping, they make the mistake of just trying too hard. They want the perfect equipment, the perfect rig, the perfect experience, but... Whoa! But it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, we are literally just monkeying around on the sand, not really doing anything particularly entertaining, and my kids are having a blast. They spent a long, cold winter. There's a lot of days we couldn't go out. You're trying to keep the kids occupied. Now, here we are. We're just outside enjoying the simple things. That's what camping's all about. We started with him when he was 4. Geez, Ellie was like a month old when we came to Pinery. Addie's been camping since she was tiny. And they love it. They absolutely love it. Will they be glad to go home tomorrow? Yeah, probably, 4 days is a long time, but they will appreciate this in the future, I'm sure. I know he certainly does. He won't admit it, but he loves camping. He's at his most content sometimes when we're here. But these moments are priceless. And one of the biggest reasons that I love camping. It's not about me, it's not about my relaxation. It's about being away from the rat race and all that other BS and focusing on what matters. Isn't that right, Addie? So something I noticed a moment ago, and my father-in-law used to work for a yacht building company, and he's very big into boats. I was showing him this piece of large piece of fiberglass about 3 or so feet long, and you can see the actual fiberglass material there, and then a piece of actual wood with some screws. And I sent a video of this to my father-in-law. 1 second, honey, 1 second. And he agrees this very likely is a part of an older speedboat of some sort. Something towards the windshield, perhaps. But, man, I sure hope somebody didn't have a wreck and sink at some point. I mean, who knows how long this has been in the water. But the screws themselves don't seem that old. And, yeah, that does feel a bit like Perspex stuck in there. So, hard to say. I don't know what caused this to end up in the lake and end up getting washed here, up here. I certainly hope that there are no fatalities around it. But very interesting things that you find here right after winter. So I was continuing my conversation with my father-in-law about that piece of boat. And he said it could have been from a wreck, but he said that, again, he used to work for a very prominent luxury yacht manufacturer that would build yachts in southwestern Ontario and send them down to millionaires in the Caribbean and so on. And he said he knows that there are some nefarious people out there that will take old boats out into the lake and sink them instead of recycling them properly. So he said that's more a likely explanation, but yeah, again, just very intriguing. I think Pinery, and like many other provincial parks, I think they do come along and do a fair bit of cleanup. It's not normally this messy and with so much debris and what do you call it, driftwood. When you come here in the summer, it's usually a lot more neat and tidy. I mean, some of the larger pieces are left, but garbage like this, like dead bird heads and remains of boats, are usually not here in the height of summer. Well, folks, that'll about do it for this video. As you can see, well, you probably can't see, we're actually back at the house already. We came home late yesterday, kind of in a state of unpacking. As per usual, I didn't really film anything on departure day. There wasn't really much worth sharing. We are going to do another trip now in June. Pinery again, but an area of dunes, one that we've never stayed in before. It was an area that used to be reserved for tents, and in the last few years it was converted for RVs. So in the meantime, we'll see what other things we need to post to the channel, and thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.